base of my 2010 Overland Toyota Tacoma. Let's get right to it. I tried just doing a first take and someone just yelled at me riding by on their bike. So that was interesting. So this truck's about 2 years in the making. I built this up for more usability over versatility, and I'll explain more about that down the road in the video. What we'll do is I'll start off with the front end, move to the back, and then hop into the cab showing you guys what other equipment I have with me. Thoroughly dirty right now with plenty of pinstriping. I just finished doing the Swansea salt tram trip. It's a climb up by Lone Pine. Didn't really feel the need to clean it because this is what my truck looks like most of the year. As far as the front end goes, it's all stock. I do have an RCI skid plate that I installed about a year ago after I thoroughly dented in the original.
Hold up, I fucked up.
That's been great. I only have front end skid plate armor. I haven't done the full bottom because I don't feel like I need it. Front end is enough for me. Pretty much everything is stock. If we move over to here, I'm currently on Falken WildPeak AT3s. These are roughly a size 33-inch tire. I did have some rubbing issues, so I have completed the cab mount chop on the driver's side, but the passenger I have not. So in some circumstances, I do contact the frame right there, but only full speed, full tuck on a right turn. So not a real big priority to get that fixed because it's super rare that I hit that. The driver's side though was absolutely needed. So that's on 33s, and I'll provide the offset for these wheels in the description for anyone that's trying to get a gist of if their wheels are going to contact or not. As far as suspension goes, nothing crazy as well. This is just a 3-inch, I believe, yeah, 3-inch lift built using Bilsteins, and as well as the SPC light action upper control arm. So just a 3-inch lift in the front. I didn't need anything super crazy. I didn't feel like I needed it for what I do. If I was building this up as a Baja truck, which is just a lot of high speed, full compression, then I could see myself needing Fox or Kings or something more high end. But in reality, this is an Overland truck. I take mild fire roads with some rock gardens here and there, but just fairly low speed. I never huck this thing because I want my truck to survive. I don't want to break something, kind of like this guy right here, which that happened just up the road from here. He hucked it over a drainage culvert, snapped off his front end axles. That was great. That's pretty much it for the suspension. I also have a 3-inch lift on the rear, and that is by Old Man Emu. I ended up going with a medium duty spring pack. I did not do an add-a-leaf. I went with a whole spring pack, and the reason I did that is because for this type of load that I'm having on the back, which is roughly 600 or more pounds, they recommend the heavy duty spring pack, and that's because it's rated for that amount. The thing is, I wanted to have the smoothest suspension possible without just dumping loads of money into it. So by going with a medium duty spring pack, my suspension is always partially preloaded, just due to the full weight of the rack system. Let me see if I can get a good angle of it here. You can kind of see, yeah, you can see it here. The spring pack is already slightly engaged and preloaded. So what that does for me is it creates a very smooth ride at pretty much all times. If you went with a heavy duty spring pack, you're gonna be feeling all the impacts of the road. I've had no issues with this. I've been running it for 2 years now and no problems whatsoever. All right, now let's go ahead and hop up onto the roof rack. This is just the pretty common Prinsu roof rack, Prinsu Designs. It's a really great system for mounting almost anything that you need, really modular, and just looks great in my opinion. So I have the light bar right there, as well as a Goal Zero 100-watt solar panel on the roof. This is used to power my kitchen and external battery, which I'll show later. On top of that, just kind of a standard roof storage crate or tote on the top for carrying recovery gear, and then some lights that I set up, which let me hop over there. When I was talking about usability, I wanted to build this up to pretty much just be the ideal like campsite vehicle. So I have a kitchen, tons of storage space, as well as these lights. They're mounted onto gimbals. They're made by a company called Ram Gimbals, I think. Those are on Amazon, but pretty much I can just unscrew this right here, and then I can angle the light in whatever direction I want it to be in. So a little stiff right now. But yeah, once I loosen that up, I can angle this to whatever direction I'm kind of setting my camp up in. Super slick, I'm a fan of it. So, looking at the tent rack setup, this is made by a company called Max Modular, or they also got it by the name of Voodoo Modular. They make this rack system in a series of different lengths and configurations for almost any truck. So this is just the Tacoma short bed edition with tonneau cover adapter brackets. So these allow me to use this tonneau cover, which is a solid fold 2.0. That just makes sure everything in the truck bed is secure at all times. No one can get in there. On top of that, they also make tons of different add-ons. So like this right here is my bike mount. These just attach to the rack system, and I can mount pretty much any bike that I want using the fork mount adapters up front here. On top of that, just some Rotopax gas cans, 4 gallons, not too much. If I do another build in the future, I will definitely look at getting a different gas setup, because 4 gallons ain't gonna do much for me. Then this last box right here is for additional recovery gear. If I ever need to open this, I just turn this. Oh, usually that turns easily. I guess not anymore. Well, anyway, when this does turn smoothly, that opens up. And then here I just have a full box of bungee cords, ratchet straps, more ratchet straps, a tire puncture kit, and then another much larger heavy-duty recovery rope. Close that up, turn that there. And then for communication, I have a Fire Stick CB antenna. So that's linked up to the CB that's in the cab, as well as a WeBoost cell phone booster antenna. Review video on that coming soon. This basically just allows me to amplify cell signal. So if I'm in an area like I am right now with maybe 0 to 1 bars of cell service, I flip this on and it boosts me up to maybe 3 or 4. So really useful thing to have, especially if you're mobile a lot. On top of that, I have the iCamper SkyCamp Mini. Super awesome tent. I got this one just recently because it deploys. You can pretty much deploy the tent in under a minute and then close it in a minute as well. So super fast compared to the original Tepui tent that I had, which had a zipper all the way around, a lot of canvas you had to deal with. So this one is super nice, having the clamshell design. On top of that, I just have a couple of max tracks for additional recovery gear. And then this light lights up my kitchen, which I will show you guys right now. So this is my latest addition to the truck. This was a really fun build to do. This is, as I said, it's a kitchen. So I have a fridge right here. This is a 35-liter fridge. Got some water in there right now. Is that leaking? Nope, we're good. Typically, I have another Goal Zero battery right here, and that Goal Zero battery is charged from the solar panel on the roof, and that powers the fridge as well as all my other accessories that I have with me. I have a fairly large propane tank. I think this is a 3-pound propane, 3 to 5 pounds, something like that, propane tank. And that goes inside of here, which I have a Coleman grill stashed in there. And then just pots and pans, utensils, and then over here is the pantry. Boop. Haven't really unpacked from my last trip. And then lastly, I have a water tank that goes there. So that's that. I have another video coming up on this because this thing was just such a fun build to do. And it's been super useful. I just got my first use out of it when I went up to the Swansea Assault Tram up in Lone Pine. So got my first real endurance trip out of it. I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but basically it didn't fall apart. That's what I'm trying to say. Built this thing as solid as I could. Behind this, I just have a toolbox. Oh, that's where my sleeping bag went. A toolbox, as well as a Smitty built CO2 tank. So that's just always want to be prepared when you're out there. So that's about it for the exterior of the truck. So as a summary, I have a 3-inch lift front and back with a medium duty spring kit on the rear. I went with just a Bilstein / Old Man Emu lift kit. Nothing too crazy because I don't do anything crazy. I'm currently on Falken WildPeak AT3s, 33-inch. I've done the cab mount chop only on the driver's side. Passenger side isn't really needed. I have a Prinsu rack on the top, Voodoo or Max Modular rack system, as well as the iCamper SkyCamp Mini. Whole bunch of extra accessories, and then a kitchen. I got a kitchen. So that sums it up for the outside. Let's go ahead and hop inside the cab, and I'll just show you the last few things that I have that kind of make this where I wanted it to be. Hopping into the cab, on the left side here, I just have a couple of custom buttons here. This one here activates the cell phone booster. So when I turn that on, the amplifier in the back enables. And then as long as I keep my phone somewhere in the vicinity of this, I get a better cell phone connection. When disabling that and turning this on, that enables the lights, the gang switch that I have right here. So I just have lower light bar, upper light bar. This one activates lights in the truck bed, as well as the kitchen one. And then these are just for the topmost lights that are on the roof rack. Looking right over here, this is my Cobra CB radio. This thing's pretty nice to have when you're with a group. You can communicate with everybody, especially also channel 19 is the all-around trucker channel. So if you're ever driving on the highways or on a road trip, clock into channel 19 and you can listen to all the truckers around you, or even just have a friendly chat with them sometimes. Right here is my other means of communication. I've actually been using this a lot more than the CB radio, because it's nice to be able to take it out of the truck, and the battery life lasts a while. This is just a Baofeng radio, and what's nice about this is this actually can operate as a police scanner as well. So if I turn this on, I have my local fire department on here, as well as a couple other. Ooh, let's turn that down. So just standard talk channels as well as police scanner channels. Super nice to have, especially if you're out in an area which has a lot of fires. I like to be able to tune in directly to Fire Command and kind of listen in and get the latest updates, I guess. So that's it for the front. Let's hop to the back. Underneath this is a Taco Tunes 10-inch sub box with a kicker. This was the first thing I put in. I always build my trucks up, or my cars, with what I'm going to be using first. Since I listen to music all the time, that was the first thing that goes in. What's nice about that kicker setup and the amplifier is that I have a wireless remote. So that right there controls the gain of the subwoofer. Super nice to be able to adjust that at all times. All my DIY electronics, don't try this at home. I'm not good at it, so I doubt you are either. But so this is it. I cut into the original body panel to make the kicker fit, because I mean that's like the perfect spot for the amplifier, just behind that seat. So that's the kicker amplifier. This is the amplifier for the cell phone booster, as well as a longer, if I'm ever outside the cab and I need the cell reception, I plug this in, and that lets me bring the cell phone booster outside of the cab of the truck. So I'm gonna close that back up. That's actually really gonna be it. So that pretty much sums up the overlook of my truck here. 2.5 years to build this thing up now, and it's been great. Zero mechanical issues, no problems whatsoever. Take this thing virtually everywhere I go. So I have plenty of videos coming out in the future, a couple of overland trips coming up, which I will be taking this on. So if you guys liked what you see here, I'm a fairly new channel at the moment, but I have a lot of stuff coming. So thank you for watching this video, and I will see you guys out on the trails. Later.